This is Wendy's Friday Night Rivals.
You know what, at first sight, the pirate ship means we can only be in one place, and tonight we are in Fairhope for a big 7A Region 1 matchup. Going to see if Fairhope can really put a stranglehold on this region, or if the Baker Hornets, who are 4-1, get a win here tonight. It's going to be a three-way tie and all mixed up atop 7A Region 1. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox, my partner Dan Brennan, as we get ready for this matchup here tonight. You know, Fairhope, we saw them last week. They won their 6th game in a row here on UTV 44. An impressive victory over at Theodore, but it's going to be a different type of challenge tonight going up against this Baker team.
Yeah, Theodore comes kind of downhill at you. This Baker team has got speed all over the field, and we'll talk about the way they're going to approach things and who they're going to approach it with offensively in just a moment.
Yeah, Baker had a tough loss against Pine Forest last week, but it actually might have got them ready for tonight. They run a lot of that veer option over there, so kind of gets them ready for what Fairhope does. But offensively, I think we're both excited to watch what Baker is able to do with all that speed and the young quarterback who certainly looks the part on the field.
Doesn't he, though? And look at his stats as well. This is a kid, Joshua Flowers, completing 66% of his passes, but he's got all the speed, all these weapons around him, Jim. And you look at their stats, and you can see that they're a very productive offensive team. Everybody's told us Baker's all about speed. Tonight we get to see it live, and Fairhope gets to try and defend it live.
Yeah, you can see how effectively he passed it. He'll pull it down. He's rushed it for over 650 yards on the season as well. Now we talk a lot about the veer as we were so impressed the way Fairhope's offense worked last week, but their defense really shut down that Theodore team. And they've got great players up front, but they got a leader on the back end, and they're going to need him to read, recognize, and cover tonight.
Yeah, that leader is also a great player. His name is Blaine Myrick. He's number 7. He's a safety, and Coach Carter simply calls him probably the best player on the team.
Yep.
Now, look at the cast. There's a reason for that. He broke a bone right around his thumb. That happened earlier this week, so he is their punt returner. He will not be returning punts tonight, and as much of a ball hawk as he can be, interceptions probably aren't going to come easy for him, but he's going to be very busy tackling and trying to stop this Baker team of the players that make it to the 2nd and 3rd level.
Now, Baker is a team looking for a chance to win a region championship. They've only got 2 in school history. Fairhope looking for their first one since 2014. It is the matchup of the night, and we are here and excited to be at WC Majors Field as we get ready for the kickoff tonight between Fairhope and Baker on Friday Night Rivals. In Fairhope tonight, 7A Region 1 matchup. The Pirates playing host to the Baker Hornets, unbeaten in the region. Fairhope, Baker, just that one loss, as we said, so far this season. Let's set it down on the field, as we always do before kickoff. Heather Healy is down there. Heather, did you jump the first time? The cannon's gone off once. Did you jump?
Just a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to get used to it tonight, but good evening, guys. We talked to head coach Tim Carter earlier tonight of Fairhope, and he liked the way that his defense played against Theodore last week, so they tried to advance that into practice this week, and tonight they hope to look solid against a very aggressive Baker team. Now, if the Pirates win, it's off to a region championship, but if the Hornets get the dub, it's a 3-way tie in the region, so a lot can happen in the region tonight, guys.
Yeah, it's of course we have a few weeks left, but it's going to get a lot more clear after this one here tonight. So Fairhope will receive first, and Adam got it a kickoff for the Hornets. Pratt Turner back deep
for the Pirates to take the kickoff.
For the Pirates, you see the smoky haze emanating from the pirate ship in the pregame cannon blast.
Yes.
And this one bobbled in.
Kick goes into the end zone. It'll be first down.
The end zone.
And Pirates row 20-yard line.
Fairhope will come out to the 20.
Make an announcement in a few minutes when I get all the details.
And there's Coach Tim Carter, 7th year here, 43-28, 141-81 overall. Monroe County and Auburn before he came here. Won 4 region titles up in Auburn, looking for his first one here in Fairhope. Took a great Auburn team out of the state championship game as well. And now we'll see. Caden Creel keeps it, cuts it up the inside, and he's only going to get a few. Keltrick Britford, the senior, comes in to make the stop. Owen Vanderwall, Spencer Clolkisher, Barrett Kane, Crabtree, and Lanasek The offensive line for the Pirates, Hall. Hawkins is the one they like to go to on the outside, but it really all goes through the two backs, Glenn Patrick and also Quaylen McCants, who had a big game last week. And this is Patrick rolling out across the 25 to about the 27. Two backs with 500 yards plus rushing. McMillan, Osborne, and Caver. Brooks and Tay Houghton, the linebackers, along with Gary Byers, their leading tackler, and Dylan Hudson, the sophomore, gets the start tonight. Young, Beckham, Britford, and Campbell in the secondary. And the speed is not just limited to the offensive side of the ball. A lot of speed on that defensive side here is 3rd and 3. Coming up for the Pirates, and the give inside, and Patrick is going to convert the first down.
Patrick goes right up the middle behind Barrett King's
up to the 33, and Glenn Patrick,
first down, Pirates.
as we talked about, one of those two backs with over 500 yards. Quaylen McCants had a big game last week, and Patrick, you see those 9 touchdowns on the year. Nice 1-2 punch they got there in the backfield.
They really do, and they showed it to us last week against good Theodore defense.
Creel again with the keep, and now, gets dragged down from behind. Good hustle coming from the backside again by Keldrick Britford. See what Creel has done this year. They don't ask him to throw it a lot. 47 of 75, 63% on the year, 572 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, but he'll pull it down, and dangerous, but it's the decision-making that really is what makes him a weapon, Dan.
Yeah, of course, in this option offense, pick the right card and win the hand, and this defense, though, great pursuit on the backside.
Here goes Glenn Patrick straight up the middle, inside the 30, all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Down to the 20-yard line.
A pickup of 46 yards and first down right up the middle.
That's what this offense seems to do to you. Contain it, and an explosion play. And they don't have to throw it to get those explosion plays. It's just blocking in misdirection, and next thing you know, you're running and pursuing it the wrong way. Watch him cut back. Right there, the hole was there. And the cutback was explosive.
And again, it's Kel Britford on the tackle, and now they bring in McCants. And McCants takes a big wallop there in the middle. Gary Byers making the stop for the Hornets. Great crowd here tonight in Fairhope.
The home side is really jammed. It's senior night, so a lot of people are here for sentimental reasons as well.
See McCants over 600 yards now on that carries. He picked up 3 there. We'll hear more about him at halftime tonight. In motion, we pitch it back, coming around the near side, trying to dance it to the outside. And nowhere really to go for Peyton Nero as he dances around and finally able to get up and stay on his feet. He's going to be very close to the first down, and he's going to have it. So they bring him in from the linebacker spot.
Allen makes the tackle for the big first down.
And he's a load to bring down, almost 200 pounds.
Yeah, but how about the quickness?
Yeah, and some moves on the far side, and he gets it just inside the 10, so it's first and goal. Creel, the junior quarterback. Motion from Bird. They go. McCants falls forward to about the 6.
Following Wesley Crabtree to the 7-yard line, gain of 3.
You know, you feel like Baker's done a decent job containing one big play.
Yeah.
And here you go. They're driving it and threatening to score on their first drive.
Donald Caver had the stop there. Let's see what he's done so far this season. We're 4 minutes into this one tonight in Fairhope. Pirates have won 6 in a row. Creel keeps it, cuts it back inside, and nowhere to go.
Creel to the 6-yard line.
Jaden Brooks. Good assignment football on them on that play to limit him to just a goal. Fairhope's yet to put it in the air. And now 3rd and goal coming up from the 6.
You don't even 3rd and 6. It's not necessarily a passing play because you can look at it like 2-down territory with this severe rushing attack.
Trey Hawkins splits out wide. Glenn Patrick back in the backfield. And I think we've Get a timeout pre-snap. Coach Carter didn't like how that one was shaping up. This is a big early third down play here on 3rd and goal.
This atmosphere is fantastic, and the Baker band, it's always a big group over there, and they're playing their hearts out while Fairhope's trying to snap the ball.
Coach Tim Carter and the BLP Mobile Paints school colors. Cam, you look at these Fairhope crowd down to our right here tonight. As we said, a huge packed crowd on the home side of things. The new Jumbotron that you see there. So this is why we're here tonight. Of course, Fairhope at 5-0 in the region. Theodore at 5-1. That one loss coming at Fairhope, and Baker 4-1. So you see, if Baker were to get the win tonight, then you'd have 3 teams at 4-1, and then, wow, I don't know if we'll have time in the post-game show if that happens for Dan to break down the tiebreakers. We still have more games to play.
I can't wait. Give me the assignment. I'm good to go.
But you can see, and then you got Baker and you've got Daphne there. So. And then Foley falls off after that, so kind of see how that's going to shake out at the top. But I think you're Fairhope. You win here tonight. Fairhope's got a game at Allen Bryant next week. Then they close out with Murphy. So you think they get a win here tonight. They're going to run the table the way they've been playing this year, and could be the region championship for the Pirates. But Baker says, not so fast. We got a big one here tonight. Hawkins split to the bottom of the screen. Creel on a hard count gives it off at the middle, and Patrick is upended. Now a decision time for Coach Carter and crew as he's down to about the 2, maybe the 1.5.
Yeah, I think
fourth and goal.
The decision is run for it. That's why you run for it on 3rd down, Jim, because you know if you get close enough, it was 4-down territory anyway.
And Creel was instantly lobbying, said, let's not kick the field goal. Let's go here. Watch as Patrick gets upended, going down low to upended there. Might have been KJ Beckham. 4th and goal from the 2. Creel on the give on the right side.
Patrick goes up the
touchdown.
Pirates. Glenn Patrick goes to
his 10th touchdown of the year. Boy, that was, like you said, aside from the one big play, that was a grinded out drive.
Yeah, the exception of one big play by Patrick, they did have to grind it out, and even had it all the way down to 4th down on that goal line. And Patrick gets it in there, does he?
Boy, yeah, good second effort to spin, man, to get to the line. And now Luke Freer, who's going to Army. With the PAT, it goes all the way down to Mullet Point, and it's 7-0 Fairhope. An impressive drive, 5.5 minutes off the clock, and they take the early lead here tonight on Friday Night Rivals. Impressive start for the Fairhope Pirates. 80 yards on that drive, and Glenn Patrick was the workhorse, and he's got his 10th touchdown of the season. It was not Creel, it was actually Glenn Patrick who got the score there on the 2-yard rush, but he also had that big 46-yard run, and Luke Freer sends this one very deep into the end zone, and we will see
this year, if you're not
the exciting sophomore Josh Flowers.
Join us at El Mexicano, our home for Pirate Nation Live football.
And this Baker offense.
Great food.
And we'll do it after this TV timeout. Early on in the first, Fairhope on top by a score of 7-0.
Great folks, the family of El Mexicano.
Gum does not stand a chance tonight from Coach Steve Norman over there on the Baker sidelines.
Steve Straw's going to win.
3rd year at Baker, took him to the playoffs last year. And he has really kind of re-energized that program out in way West Mobile. And we see Josh Flowers, the sophomore quarterback, Gives it off to Jamari Hawkins, who is a huge year.
Got some crazy numbers, doesn't he?
Yeah, almost 350 yards on the ground now, and he's caught receptions for 725 yards. Miles, Colvin, White, Lindmark, and Waiters. Waiters 6'2", 278. Williams, 16 catches on the outside. And this one thrown, and he's got it to Williams, and Williams on his feet. Our pregame show guest up to the 48. 28-yard pickup, and Williams with his 17th catch of the year. He averages 28 yards of reception and adds to it there.
Look at him go up and get it. My goodness. We talked about the a lot of talent, a lot of speed on the, wide out, and athletically for Baker. An exceptional catch by our pregame guest. Very engaging young man, too.
Yeah, a great athlete. Plays basketball, runs track. It's time to give it to Zion Davis, and he's going to be dropped maybe back at the line of scrimmage, but
a loss on the play.
Maybe a loss of one. Davis, just a junior, his 21st carry on the year. Owen Williams, Ronnie Maggio up front. He's having a great season. Eli Webb and Trent Spaller. Peyton Nero, linebacker Hunter Hughes, Holland Brock, Adams, Blaine Myrick that Dan talked about as we open the broadcast, Maddox Davis and Shay Brown, the other corner back there, and they did lose one back to the 45-yard line.
We certainly liked the way that group played last week. They held Kirsten Rogers under 50 yards of rushing.
And Baker takes a timeout with 2nd and 11 coming up for this Baker offense, averaging 34 points a game. We'll take a look at what's going on here. Last night you had Theodore getting their homecoming win over LaFleur. Murphy and Daphne tonight playing just up the road here in Baldwin County. Mary G and Foley, Davidson and Bryant, Robertsdale and Saraland tonight. Citronelle and Spanish Ford and Blunt and McGill at the Lip this evening. Baldwin County traveling down to the beach. UMS hosting BC Rain, Alberta and St. Paul's. Faith and Satsuma, Williamson and Viger. That's a big one tonight. Mobile Christian and Jackson, W.S. Neal and Escambia County. Robert Woodyard out of that game, not playing tonight for Williamson. Hillcrest, Evergreen, and Flominton. Chickasaw and Bayside tonight. Excel and Cottage Hill. Leroy at home along with St. Luke's. J.U. Blackshear and Washington County. Orange Beach making the road trip up there. Sweetwater and Millbury tonight. Montgomery Academy taking on Thomasville, and Brantley and Red Level. A busy Friday night, week 9. Just 2 more in the regular season after tonight. 2nd and 11 for the Hornets. Josh Flowers fires this one out and gets it again to Williams, and Williams with 2 quick catches in this one. And he's up to the 40, and it's going to bring up about a 4th and 6. Williams 6 foot, speedy on the outside. Hadn't played football all that long. Coach Norman had to convince his mom that he's not going to get hurt. He's going to be good.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it, but from his the way he moves on a football field, very natural.
That might be him who is down here right in front of the Fairhope bench. You see both teams' trainers. Coach Norman comes over there, yeah.
All the way across the field. He was a wonderful guest. In fact, it was interesting the way that we saw him shake hands.
Oh, looks like he's
Pratt Turner. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's maybe a bloody nose there. It's always easy to say just a bloody nose when it's not your nose that's bleeding.
Your nose, yeah.
Let's watch here. Maybe the hand gets inside the,
Yeah, that's what it is. He'll be back. But he's shaking hands with Pratt Turner. We found out that Pratt, the wingback for Fairhope, actually started his high school career at Baker.
Used to live way out in West Mobile.
Yeah, and family moved to Fairhope, and he's a welcome addition to what the Pirates are doing.
3rd and 7.
3rd and 7 for the Hornets.
Here for the Hornets with Flowers and company now. Antonio Young replaces Williams on the outside, and Flowers pitches it back on the inside to Hawkins, and Hawkins to the 35, and I think he's going to be
down to the 36
needs one more, right?
Yeah.
But it's a nice nicely designed play, wasn't that, Jim?
Yeah, everybody
Inside
going back
pitch.
to the right.
Yep.
Pitch it on the inside back to Hawkins, who
Took it to the field, and the option, actually, you think of him optioning behind him. He optioned in front of him. That would have been, I guess, counted as a forward pass, in fact.
yeah, and it's put, and you're going to the right, so the ball's in his right hand, and not as easy pitch, but he cleats it. So 4th and 1 here for the Hornets. Flowers on the keeper, and he's going to have the first down on the right side. A big body, and just a sophomore, 6'2", 208 pounds. He has really got that frame that is going to fill out and be just exactly what you like to see in a multifaceted, multi-threatening quarterback.
Yeah, it's what you like to see, but it's not what you see very often.
Yeah.
And just a sophomore now, incredible at 6'2", 205, we say, and he's an athlete for sure, and he's making really good decisions too. And just the weight of being the quarterback as a sophomore.
Yep.
He beat out a good player.
Took over earlier in the season and
Flowers on the keeper goes right up the middle.
gets
Gain of 1.
one and just a little change on that one. So 2nd down coming up for the Pirates. Just talking about the energy that Coach Norman has brought to this Fairhope program. To this Baker program, and they had a little. Coach French was out there. They had it going a little bit, and then kind of fell back down a little, and now they're definitely trending in the right direction again under Coach Norman.
Yeah, and Mobile Public School, not with all the facilities and bells and whistles, but they've got some good athletes.
Flowers, all kinds of time, lofts this one into the end zone, and he's got it, Javen Williams.
Williams in the back of the end zone on the
7th
pass from Flowers.
reception
Touchdown,
on the year, floated from 30 yards out, and Williams just ran underneath it. Bloody Nose keeps him out just for a play.
Yeah, that's the first touchdown scored by a kid with tissue stuck in his nostril this season, I believe. He just left with a bloody nose. He's all better, and boy, does he get a step or two on Fairhope.
Offensive line.
Maddox Davis, the free safety, by the way.
Yeah, Flowers had plenty of time from the folks in front. Kilgore with a PAT, and we are tied with less than 3 minutes to go in the first. Each team's had it once. Each team's got a touchdown. 7-7 on Friday Night Rivals. Javen Williams calls this one in for 6.
Mosley and Turner are
There you see our score late in the first, all evened up. And the Baker Band reason to get all excited here tonight as their team, both squads have gone 80 yards on their opening possession. How about just that flick of the wrist on that 30-yard high arcing pass?
Yeah, and how about how wide open Williams was?
And
Mosley takes the kickoff.
Mosley going to be stopped down around the 17. Let's get on to Heather on the sidelines.
Pirates.
Yeah, guys, it's a big night on the field in more ways than one. You're probably going to see a lot of ribbons around tonight. We have them on our shirts tonight, as it's Spina Bifida night here at Fairhope. Line coach, Brett Horn's 11-year-old daughter, Caitlin, was diagnosed at 4 months old, and the amount of love and support the community has given the Horn family is uncanny. You're going to hear from Horn's wife, Heather, great name, right, later on to discuss the impacts made not only here at the stadium tonight, but all throughout Fairhope as well. They had a dinner tonight in the end zone with family and friends to support them this night. They're also giving out wristbands that says Spina Bifida Association of Alabama. So a lot of love and support tonight, guys.
Yeah, it's a great, they do it every year. I think this is maybe the 8th year they've done it here. So really a great way for this Fairhope community to reach out to others in a very close-knit community, maybe for a reason you would hope you're not in that community, but all the support and love felt here tonight. The Cants. 2nd down.
Cants out to the 24-yard
It's not your imagination. They do a lot of things very well in Fairhope, Alabama. Good living over here.
3rd and 3
They got a good football team.
Third, they have a chance to make it 7 wins in a row tonight. Right down in front of us, our BLP Mobile Paints cam. Just some really nice additions to the stadium. A beautiful Jumbotron, and really helped with some great seating down in front for those who need a little extra space and better sight lines. So Creel slings it to the near side and broken up. Again, it's Keltrick Britford, and they were trying to come to Trey Hawkins.
I didn't like the decision there, Jim. He threw it to a man who was covered. He could have gone down a little bit, checked it down, and gotten the first down, but he liked what he saw, but one-on-one coverage was excellent by Baker.
Britford, who has been starting at corner, moving over to the free safety spot, and we called his name a bunch here tonight. And now Luke Freer on to punt, and Javen Williams will stand back at about the 35. Freer with a huge leg. And Williams stays away from this one, and it's going to roll inside the 25. They'll mark it at the 25.
First down for the Hornets.
So a 52-yard punt. And a 3 and out for the Fairhope offense.
You have to be someone kind of special to have your birthday introduced.
I want to thank our fine folks at Wendy's. Hey, I want to tell you, Wendy's now offering a party pack: 2 crispy chicken sandwiches, 2 junior cheeseburgers, 4 medium fries, 4-piece nuggets, and 4 cookies for the championship price of $19.99. Perfect for tailgating. Also, 80 Citron Injury Attorneys, proud supporter of our Scholastic Athlete. Going to give one of our Scholastic Athletes this year a $5,000 scholarship. And back out here, Josh Flowers, the sophomore quarterback. Hawkins comes into the backfield. He'll take it to the short side. Pick up 3.
Running away at a defense that we got a good look at last week. Did a great job against the Theodore vaunted running game. It was down to nothing, really. Again, you take an all-state prospect like Kirsten Rogers at 220 pounds and hold him to less than 50, if I remember. Great gang tackling. They've got some players, too. They got some size on that defensive line. Linebackers that can roam.
Corey DeVoli came over and made the stop on that one. Pickup of 2 for the Hornets there on first down. Penetration this time, but nice move. As Flowers gets it right out near the sticks.
And Flowers fooled Fairhope, and he fooled me.
Yeah, he looked like the penetration can blow it up, pulls it down, picks up 7. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1, and probably will not snap it here before the quarter runs out. And indeed, they will not. So we will head to the second with a 3rd down coming up for the Hornets at their own 31. 7-7 in this big battle. 7A Region 1. Big matchup here tonight on Friday Night Rivals. Ready to start quarter number 2. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sideline. Jared Kihas in the truck, and our entire Friday Night Rivals crew here is a pretty even first quarter. Fairhope took the opening kickoff, marched it 80 yards. Then Baker matched them with an 80-yard drive of their own. Then Fairhope got a 3 and out. And now Fairhope with Baker with their second possession. A 3rd and 1 coming up at their own 34 here.
Total yards, teams are separated by 2 yards.
3rd down.
And a whistle pre-snap for 3rd and 1 coming out of the break there. As we said, this Baker, both these teams put up a lot. Baker 34 points a game, Fairhope 31. So first McConnell Collision Center flag of the game. So Blaine Myrick there with a cast on that broken thumb. Ball start. Paul Brooks tells us against the Hornets, 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6, and it's such a game changer.
Yeah, even for a well-run offense, that's tough right there. There's definitely going to be a change in the play call. They move it a variety of ways. They run it well. They throw it for 72 yards in the first quarter, by the way. So Flowers showing his versatility.
After the penalty, they'll replay third down.
Coach Norman looks
Third and
on
6.
here. Flowers scrambles out. Now wants to throw on the run. He does. He's able to get that one complete. Jamarian Clemens has got the first down.
Pass is complete to Clemens at about the 45-yard line. They'll mark it right at the 45, I think.
Little slot guy, Jim,
It'll be
found
first
that
down for the
opening.
Hornets.
And on the run, little ad-lib by Flowers. He gets wailed after the throw by Myrick. Usually shows up with bad intentions.
He gets it all the way up to the 45-yard line. Third down conversion here on, watch the hit he takes at the end of the play, but kept his eyes downfield. He started to scramble.
He doesn't
Now
play
a
like a
little flea
sophomore.
flicker. Flowers on the run again, goes to the middle of the field. He's got that one complete as he goes to Jamari Hawkins.
Pass is complete
His
to
35th
David.
catch of the year, and Hawkins down to the 13-yard line. Pickup of 32.
They both move the ball, and they both do it in very different ways. Really taking advantage of that speed on the outside, kind of overmatching Fairhope to this point.
Have a bunch of number 9.
And quickly back on the ball comes Flowers and the Hornets. Looking for their first lead of the night. High snap. Flowers able to pull it down and stays alive and dances up. He'll get maybe a yard on that.
So fundamental, and it has so much to do with the play, Jim. The
Yep.
snap of the ball.
1 second and 9.
That play just had a better chance of being effective if the snap was there.
Flowers able to pick up one. So 2nd and 9 from the 12.
Good game, huh?
Oh. So two pretty evenly matched teams, but kind of go about things in a different way on the offensive side of the ball. Anyway, Flowers gets it off to Hawkins again. Hawkins a little jump step to the outside and then back to the inside, and he's going to be down to around the 5.
Well, just when you thought that play was over, it was not. Hawkins with a lot of determination.
Carry, sweep around left end.
See why they just
About the 6-yard line.
love to get the ball in his hands as often as they can. We said 725 yards receiving coming into tonight's game, 342 on the rush, and he's already added to both of those, but watch how he keeps this one alive here.
Those would be receiving yards
Yep.
right there, I believe.
Williams made the tackle.
It's up to our statistician.
3rd and 3, spotted officially at the 6. Flowers wants to keep it. Flowers goes in the middle
Flowers
of that Pirate
off the
defense,
keeper.
and the ball looked like it came loose. It did look like it was coming loose a little bit, and there was no signal. So you
Wow.
see Trent Spaller says, hey, I got it. I thought it came loose right in the middle of the pileup, and they're going to say no.
So did Trent.
And they're going to bring on the field goal unit here. As
Trent
Flowers was
Spaller,
stopped
defensive player
short of the
on
first
that
down.
last Play. It'll be 4th down
And
for
Hunter
the Hornets.
Kilgore will come on and try on a 23-yard field goal attempt here.
Look who the holder is.
Javen Williams,
Yeah.
we've seen he does have pretty good hands.
Yes, he does. That's a good call.
Now, timeout by,
Prior to the snap, delay again.
oh,
5-yard
it
penalty.
was not timeout, so now that's going to make it about a 28-yard attempt. I thought maybe Baker was taking a timeout to say, do we want to talk this over? We sure we want to go kick it? So, Baker look here to try to get their first lead of the night. Beautiful setting for a Friday night football game here in Fairhope.
A lot of good reasons to want to spend a Friday in Fairhope, and football is one of them, too.
Kilgore. And the kick is good.
28-yard field goal. is
And
good.
Baker has now scored 10 straight, and they have the lead by 3 over Fairhope. 3 minutes into the second here on Friday Night Rivals. Baker with their first lead of the night after the 28-yard field goal by Hunter Kilgore. And now Fairhope will get it back after a quick 3-and-out on that last drive, and see what Baker was able to do with it. 4.5 minutes, 7 plays, 69 yards. Including that big 3rd and 6 conversion to keep the drive going from back in their own end. And Mosley and Pratt Turner back deep to receive the kick for the Pirates.
The crowd had made that Oregon Trail drive from West Mobile all the way to Fairhope in Friday afternoon traffic. I bet you that was a joy.
At least it's a it's a little later in the season and you don't have that maybe typical Friday Bayway traffic headed to the beach.
Well, trips like that create memories for the family.
Sometimes the kids learn new words from the back seat, right? Dad not happy with the traffic. At the 6, Pratt Turner brought down at the 16 by Javen Williams.
There we go. Pre-game guests knew each other back at Baker in the day, and he's a good player.
Caught a touchdown
at the 17-yard line.
Hey, this is the 23rd meeting between these two schools. How many wins does Baker have in the history of this matchup? We will tell you in the second half. As the Pirate offense back out here with Creel. Creel, late pitch on the far side. Nice work there. Gonna get that one off to Jack, make it Jack Bird, just his 8th carry of the year, but it's gonna be good for a first down. Watch how long Creel holds this.
Yeah, watch. He might be beyond the line of scrimmage or right at it when he gives it up, and that, of course, allows Bird, the defense kind of takes their focus off the pitchman at that point.
Pickup of 10. Now McCants with a hole on the right side, and it quickly closed down. And
McCants on the carry, gain of 2.
He'll pick up a couple there on first down.
I'm impressed with Baker all the way around.
Yep, I would agree.
A long drive from West Mobile, and then they're here. They're playing against the Veer offense that you don't see very often. Now, they did get a break. The Pine Forest team they played last week, it just so happened to run an offense similar to this. But they've been very good students here second time around.
2nd and 8. McCants this time on the right side of the 35. And, Coach Norman was talking about the same thing Coach Collier talked about, before last week's game. He said it's not just that they do it. It's hard to simulate in practice to get ready.
You can't do it
for the game because your kids aren't used to running it,
right?
And so that maybe Baker kind of worked out some of the bugs against that Pine Forest team. As Coach Norman over there, Pine Forest scored 34 last week. We do a game at Pine Forest one time? Thought we did. Dropping back Creel. Wants to set up the screen, and McCants has it broken up right away. What a great play by Gary Byers. Read it beautifully. And a big loss on 3rd down.
Pass is complete. Stop for a loss of 4th down for the Pirates.
What a play by the leading tackler, the senior linebacker.
Davis makes the tackle for the Hornets.
We've got some impressive players on this team. There's a reason they're 5-2 for sure, and they're playing well tonight.
Byers just read his keys the whole way.
Yep.
Got there just as McCants was making the reception. And Freer from the 23. And fair catch called for there by Williams.
Taken at the
Back at the
27-yard line by Williams.
28-yard line.
It'll be first down for the Hornets.
47-yard kick. McConnell Collision Center. Proud to bring you the penalty flags and more each night. Also the Drug Education Council. Thank you for being a big part of our broadcast. Get answers, get help, get better with the Drug Education Council.
To raise money for Fairhope Pirates Sports. Tickets are $100 per couple.
Now
selling the tickets tonight.
Baker offense
Pirate Closet. Just to the left.
Flowers, you also get that, like, doesn't get rattled. Just a sophomore, but you can tell no getting rattled on this one. Again, a little shovel pass on the inside to get it off to Hawkins, and Hawkins up the far side and finally pushed out of bounds at the 45. Going to pick up 27.
I would give Flowers over 160 yards passing already in this game. He had 135 before that play. He's going to have a bunch before halftime. Sophomore quarterback Josh Flowers. He had a lot of speed around him, and he knows how to use it.
At the 45, as we approach the halfway point of quarter number 2, and a timeout called for here. I think Baker takes their second time out of the first half.
Like to take this opportunity.
So that little shovel pass in the inside.
Middle school football.
Seen it go twice now. That one, the big
champions after defeating Daphne in overtime last night.
Big gainer there.
38-36. Congratulations.
And we'll come back after this. 10-7. Baker on top. The first down at the Pirate 45 coming up after this.
John Hardwick.
You know, Dan, I kind of feel like we did last week at this time. We came out and we said, wow, Fairhope's really good. Hadn't seen him yet. Impressive. Thinking the same thing about this Baker team we hadn't seen yet.
Through the air.
And they go right back to Javen Williams.
But look at the weapons, Jim. Williams and Hawkins.
Pick your
And the
poison.
quarterback himself is a heck of an athlete. Could be a, he could be a weapon on the run himself. Makes good decisions. He's been coached really well, and what's not to like?
And a first down to the 34. Caught the smile of Williams on the pregame show. Big night so far here tonight. He's got the touchdown reception and 4 catches for 77 yards. 20 on the season now and 7 touchdowns. Flowers strolls out to the right, and pressure coming, tried to flip it off to Williams, and that went incomplete. As the Pirates got a little pressure there.
Yeah, he had
from the right edge.
Kevin Beckham one-on-one with a safety, and he had a step. Does not recognize where the man is. Gets hit a lot. Hit again hard.
Spaller was chasing him, but it was Eli Webb, the senior, who put the big lick on him.
Webb's had a good year.
One of the returning starters on this defensive line. For Coach Carter. First incompletion of the night for Josh Flowers.
After 172 yards.
That helps the QBR. Avoids the pressure here on the screen, able to get that one off, and Fairhope's defense does a good job. Calvin Irby with his first touch of the night.
He stopped for loss.
And so they tried to set up the screen, and Fairhope was coming, and Flowers had to get it off, but bring up 3rd and 7. Back to the 33-yard line. Fairhope's defense needs a stop here.
Agree 100%.
Baker's scored 10 unanswered since the...
It just looked like they were a snap away from a big play, any play.
3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Flowers steps up in the pocket. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down.
Flowers stopped in the backfield for a loss.
Fairhope's defense drops him all the way back to the 37-yard line.
Speaking of dropping, Fairhope dropped 6 on defense.
And still got home.
And still got home, right.
It'll be 4th down for the Hornets.
So brings up a punt team. So they lose 7 on the sack there, and Irby will stand right at midfield. And now it looks like Fairhope a little over-aggressive, but on 3rd and 14, 3rd and 9, I think you're still going to punt the ball deep.
Are you? You're at the 35-yard line.
Now you're at the 34 and 3rd and 9, 4th and 9, excuse me. And Coach Norman, this could be turning point in this game right here.
Well, it could be, and we can see from the way this offense has moved up and down the field, they're very capable of converting for 9 yards. They've got the plays in their playbook. They've got the athletes on the outside. They've got the quarterback with ability and a good head.
And Coach Norman, after the penalty, sends the offense back out there, but play clock, we have to use their last time out of the first half here. His play clock was all the way down to 3. Trying to decide what they want to do, and yeah, now as you said, it's not. If you turn it over on downs here, it's not awful. You're not giving them great field position. They're 7A, top 10 poll. Thompson rolling over everybody. Hoover, Phoenix City, Auburn, James Clemens. Then Fairhope moving up from 7 to 6 with the win last week. Oak Mountain, Theodore, Hewitt-Tressville, and Enterprise. Baker was ranked before their loss last week over at Pine Forest, so they fell out of the top 10, but Fairhope sitting there at number 6.
The way they overcome those challenges that make them our heroes. Let's continue to bring awareness to these
and
warriors.
A 4th and 8 coming up.
Know more about how to support this organization.
Here for the Baker Hornets.
Visit the website.
So, well, we said they needed to get if you're Fairhope, you had to get a stop. You got the sack, had a punt coming up, then you jump offside on a 4th and 14 on the punt. And now they'll send the punt team back out. But Fairhope not buying it. Fairhope's not sending anyone deep. They're keeping everyone the 25-yard line up where the sticks are. Irby. Well, if he punts this in the end zone, you're only going to pick up 13 yards. And Irby drops the snap. And now gets a high kick. A good job to get it off, but it takes a big Fairhope bounce. It goes to
might
the
as well
20.
go in the end zone.
Yeah, so you gain 13 net yards there, but boy, almost disastrous.
Ends up being down at the 20-yard line.
It was a good snap, too.
First down for the Fairhope Pirates going the other way.
Irby did a good job to get it off. But Fairhope, after all that, does get the stop, Dan Brennan.
They get the stop. They get the ball with enough time to do something. 4:39. Even with this rushing offense, again, they've only had one explosive play so far tonight, Jim, but there's more in there.
Split the pot tickets, also your all sports program.
Look for them to. Don't be surprised if they don't rip off something big with this veer option. Baker's done a great job to this point.
Creel still on his feet, avoids the trouble, and
looked
like there was going to be not much there, but he's going to get out to the 25 and pick up 5.
Creel's got moxie. He's got a little quickness to him. Not a burner.
But he's shifty.
He's shifty, right.
But did a great job to just get out of the fray back behind the line of scrimmage.
Good job by Beckham on the stop. Number 2 also plays some wide out on offense.
Clock rolling now as we approach 4 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Creel again on the keeper.
Creel on the keeper. He's out close to a first down.
Close, maybe just a half yard short of the first down.
Makes the tackle.
Up to the 30. Britford comes up and makes the stop for the Hornets.
They've got the play to get a half a yard, don't you? What we saw a week ago.
So Creel is done here so far tonight. They don't ask him to throw it a whole bunch. They can only throw it one time in the second half last week. Maybe it was 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 in the first half. He'll keep it again here and spins. And he's going to have the first down up to the 35.
First down, Pirates. 36-yard line, first down for the Pirates. Right at 3 minutes remaining in the first half.
Approach 3 minutes left in quarter number 2. Baker will get the ball to start the second half.
Not a very productive quarter for the Pirates. 25 total yards here in the second period, Jim.
Yeah, they had that 80-yard drive to start the game, and then since then, been locked down by this Baker defense, who's giving up 16 points a game, and they've got 3 shutouts on the year. UMS Bryan and Mary G. Play clock inside 5. Late motion. Creel, little pump fake. Now he's feeling some pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Creel dives forward. He's going to pick up 3 on that. We talked about the
yards
poise of
on the
Flowers.
right.
How about the poise Creel showed there with the pocket collapsing all around him?
Got to take care of the football, though. Be careful with it.
Campbell on
Once you
the
know
stop.
you're going to run, still just kind of dangling in his right arm here, right there. If you're a runner,
3, it'll be second and
tuck it
7
away.
for the Pirates.
To the 39. And Fairhope with 2 timeouts left. Baker has none. Patrick.
Glenn Patrick takes the
To the
handoff, goes right up the middle.
46.
Close to a first down.
I think he's going to have
Short.
a.
Davis makes the tackle.
We're going to say he's just
This
short.
time by maybe-
No, he's going to have enough for the first down.
What do you know? Pirate foot down, first
Yep.
down.
A clean first half. I think only a couple penalties so far.
Well, coach teams, Jim, and they know who they are, and they're good at what they do. But give Baker credit. Defensively, they have pretty much put the clamps on this Fairhope Veer offense to this point in the half. One big drive to start the game. That's it.
We saw the 70-plus yards so far for Patrick. He had a 46-yarder in that first quarter. Now Creel on the keeper, and he's going to get
Creel
9.
on the keeper.
Maybe 10. They might.
Another
Yep, they're going to
10
give him 10
another
yards first down.
Pirates.
You can see they don't like what's going on in the first
44-yard
option.
line, first down for Fairhope.
Baker's taking that away. They're doing other things on the corner with Creel. They didn't do as much of that a week ago. They ran straight at Theodore for winning the battle up front.
Agreed. Turner comes in motion. They go to McCants, and McCants
McCants on a nice
at about
carry,
the
goes right up the
38-yard
middle.
line as we approach a minute to
To
go
the
here. And
38-yard line. Davis makes
This
the
offense
stop.
a little bit like watching somebody change their oil, but
Second and 4.
every now and then you get a splash play. That's what they're hoping for here.
Exactly.
here they let their defense sit on the sidelines and keep the other team's defense out on the field. Creel lost his helmet and took a big hit after doing so.
Easy.
Now Creel's going to have to come out for a play.
For a loss, and will come out for
Big
a play.
Penetration. Tay Houghton.
Well, it wasn't just losing the helmet. It was a hit after the loss of the
Yeah.
helmet. That was, no, not good.
Yeah, Byers was coming in there. Of course, if you're Byers, you don't expect him to
Never mind.
to lose the helmet when you're coming in there trying to finish things off. And
But if you identify that the player's got no helmet on,
yeah, so Ian Parrish will come in.
Timeout.
And so
Second card, timeout.
wonder if he can come back. Can he, if you take a timeout, can he come back in? Still has to sit out for the
I
play.
believe he still has to sit out. It's one thing your helmet coming off. I never quite understood that if your
Don't
helmet
forget
is
to check
ripped
out
off
Pirate
basically
Closet
by.
at halftime. Just to the left of the concession
opposing
stand.
player.
Yeah,
Well,
but just,
All your
it's not like you were
Pirate
taking
gear.
it off in a celebratory manner.
Exactly, exactly.
Sports programs. And if you're
BLP
not a member of the Booster Club,
Mobile
you
Paints.
need to be. You're here tonight. You're enjoying
School
this
Colors
great
Cam. That's the
athletic event.
Fairhope
A lot
Pack
of sponsors
student
pay a
body
lot of money to
section.
help us out here.
Right down
You
here
do
in
your
front of
part
us.
too.
Of course, they're all
Just by
dressed up in
joining
yellow
the
for
Fairhope
Spina
Pirate
Bifida
Booster Club.
night here tonight.
Yeah, everything on this side is packed, and you look down to the concession area, down to the northwest corner of the stadium, and it is jammed as well. So, pretty good contingent from West Mobile too. Tim
Tonight,
Carter,
they're also sending a long
he's talking about the
hello
helmet
and
probably,
goodwill
and the hit that was
soon to
leveled
Michaela
on
Noble of Prosper High
the
School
quarterback
out in
after that
Texas.
helmet was off.
Michaela is a cheerleader.
Pretty vicious.
Let's take a look here again.
Was left paralyzed as a result of the tumbling
Oh,
accident.
it almost was it
Our
a.
cheer squad has
Did
a
he
personal
grab the face
connection
mask
with
as well to
Michaela.
pull it off? Couldn't really tell from that
Fairhope
angle,
High
but
School team is sending a get well soon
Houghton
signed
was in there,
picture
and then-
tonight to Michaela.
I was kind of concentrating
Wishing you all
on
the
the
best
second
from the
guy coming in,
Pirates.
so I don't know how
Our
it got
prayers
pulled
go
off,
with
but it
you.
was pulled off. There's your 15
Michaela
yards you're looking for.
Noble.
That's as good as a dive play that is successful.
Coach Carter.
How does the helmet come off?
Watch
That's the
the
question.
30. Watch that where that right hand comes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Good work by our crew there to capture that one, and then
Well, they missed.
Third down for
They missed
Pirates.
something that second time around. Pretty obvious.
and now Coach Carter is really upset on the sideline here. Oh, Coach Carter doesn't usually get that animated.
Well, he saw a penalty and a cheap shot. It happened in about a millisecond against his quarterback.
But then there was something that also triggered it right after the snap. So Ian Parrish, senior, comes in at quarterback to take this snap. We're going to have him throw it. Parrish to the near side, gets it off complete and out of bounds. That'll stop. The clock is
complete to Glenn Patrick.
Clock's still rolling.
Patrick.
Bickford makes the stop.
I thought it would have stopped him when he went out of bounds. Fairhope has a couple of timeouts
on the throw.
left, and
maybe they don't know it's rolling. Maybe they assumed he was out of bounds. I don't know what to make of this.
And so Creel comes back in. And now he's going to let the clock run out. That's what they're going to do. And now get a whistle with 2.5 seconds left. Okay, he was still in bounds. It was right down in front of us.
So he was in bounds.
Yep, he was. So fourth down, short of the first down. So Coach Carter just wanted to run the clock all the way down with 2.5 seconds left. Was not going to risk going for it there, turn the ball over and give
at the end of halftime
Baker maybe one shot.
Oh, that's a good point. Fourth down, right.
Yeah. So and you don't even have to punt it. Here you can probably run it out, but okay, he is going to try a 59-yard field goal. Luke Freer is going to try this one from 59. We saw him drilling them from 50 with plenty to spare in the pregame. Now, Baker's going to send 3 guys back to try to maybe catch it if it's short and return it.
3 athletes back.
Freer coming right at you from 59. And it would have been good from 69. He almost kicked it to West Point, where he's going to go to school. What a momentum play at the end of the first half. A 59-yard field goal to tie the game at 10. And the crowd loved it. I mean, let's watch his reaction.
The entire team's reaction.
The crowd. So you don't see that. That's the longest one I think we've ever seen on Friday Night Rivals.
No, I don't know what the longest we've ever seen is. It's maybe something over 50. I don't remember, but 59 out of the question. And you were right about just how far that ball actually traveled.
All right, we will go to the break. 10-10. Fairhope and Baker, 7A Region 1 matchup. It's a dang good one tonight here on Friday Night Rivals. It's rare, Dan Brennan, when, you know, out of 20 points, it's rare when the most exciting are 3. But a 59-yard field goal by Luke Freer to close out the half. And what a kick, what a momentum boost for Fairhope to go into the break.
So we've seen him 2 weeks in a row, and he really got our attention with every kick there is fury-filled.
Yep.
He doesn't dink anything up there, right? It's like a long drive contest no matter where he's kicking from.
It's like Bryson DeChambeau in the tee box.
That's what he is. So they're lining up for a 59-yard field goal, the last play of the half. We're thinking, maybe my whatever, because that thing had 10 more yards on it.
No doubt.
It went, I don't think it went through the goalpost.
Over, yeah.
I think it went over.
Big kick. So Luke Freer, let's probably go ahead and say maybe we'll put him up. He might be our player, one of our player of the game nominations for that kick.
Player of the year.
Last week we had this Fairhope team on the road over at Theodore, and Quaylen McCants had a big night and really got them going early and was really the bell cow all night for them offensively.
Yeah, this is what they were hoping for today, right? But this team from Baker's done a better job with this dive play. We'll see what happens in the second half. But what a game he had last week. Big rushing game for him. Patrick helped out also in that Veer offense. And a huge win. Look at the blocking right there. That's what they're hoping to find again this week. Huge win last week at Theodore.
Yeah, both are big backs, and I think McCants is maybe a little more the physical of the two backs, and he really was what helped lead them to the win last week at Theodore. And at the end of tonight's game, we will have 3 players for you to choose from and vote on as to who is our Hurt Reynolds player of the game this week. Halftime score 10-10 here in Fairhope. It's a battle for the top spot in 7A Region 1, and we're all even through 2 here in Fairhope. Halftime score here in Fairhope. Baker and the Pirates even up at 10. Okay, when we see the best of plays next week, like the 59-yarder's got to be on there. Like, it's got to be on there.
You got to open with it and you got to close with it. It's got to. You know,
we gotta make the cut. So for some reason, however, right now, unbeknownst to any of us here in Fairhope, we are going to have an encore presentation of the best of plays from all of 2020 on Friday Night Rivals from a year ago. Let's take a look.
Drum Baker. A lot of time in the pocket. He dropped that pass in there. Sure did. Just he dropped it. A beautiful play.
Well-placed ball.
And that ball was on his helmet. He caught that ball in the back of his helmet.
Play from the 9. Cheney steps up, throws end zone. Oh, big hit. Nixon knocked it loose.
Huge call, but Hoover's going to go up top, looking for it all, and what a one-handed grab. Malik Thomas.
Shanks will hand it right up the middle again to Smith. Smith hurdles the defender, gets pushed around, trying to get to the corner of the end zone, and he is.
And Hunter Kelly throws it down the middle of the field, and it's picked off. One-handed grab. Jackson on the one-handed interception, a little stiff arm, and he's on his way back across midfield.
Theme every week, right? Well, pitch back, double pass, going deep, had him open, caught across the 30 to the 20, cutting back. Isaac Jackson. Drilled, ball came out. Is it live? It's a turnover coming back this way.
He's their money man. They put the ball in his hand. He can keep it if he wants to. Tosses it forward into the end zone. Fontesha catches the flip, and Brentwood gets the lead with 18 seconds to play. A flip of desperation ends in jubilation.
I do not know if the Brennan Bears were on the receiving side or doling out that hit in that game. Where are the Brennan Bears? Where is that? Ohio?
Of all the many schools named after my family, it's hard to keep up.
And by family, like it's there's the older brothers, older sisters. That's where, right?
Well, we were a high achieving bunch. I'm not a very good announcer, but we did well.
All right, speaking of announcers.
Yeah, how about this? Baker Hornets scholastic athlete is Cole Daigle. He's a senior, 4.77 GPA, 33 on the ACT. He's 7th in the class, a huge class.
Yeah.
Baseball co-captain, AP Scholar, National Honor Society, Key Club, FCA, Hornet Hooligans. Jared said to me there was so much data on there, so much he's accomplished, they had to edit a lot out. He wants to study journalism broadcasting to pursue a career as a sports analyst. Dude, I'm a sports analyst. You got to shoot higher.
With a 4.77, a 33, and 7th in your class?
Yeah, I had.
You're already qualified for what we do.
I had a 7 and a 3. Cole Daigle, senior from Baker. Good for him, and he'll have my job in about a month.
All right, Andy Citron, injury attorneys, always proud to support our Scholastic athletes. And at the end of the year, he is going to award one of our Scholastic athletes with a scholarship for $5,000. Halftime here. I heard some Britney Spears by the Baker Band. We
really
can't play it for it, but they're really good. Then the Fairhope Band's out there right now, and they are spectacular as always. On the Eastern Shore, we're tied up 10 apiece. 7A Region 1 battle for the top spot here on Friday Night Rivals. There's their halftime score, 10 apiece. Baker and Fairhope, a back and forth battle throughout the first half here. And boy, I kind of think exactly what we hope for here tonight, Dan Brennan, to see two teams battling for the top spot, 7A Region 1, and they both look like they deserve to be at the top of this region.
Yeah, and two guys came as advertised. First was Josh Flowers, the quarterback for Baker, the sophomore, who looked great in the first half. But then how about the kicker? Luke Friel from 59 yards to end the half. Like, are you kidding?
It was a quick start for Fairhope. They marched it down the field on their opening drive and took the lead here in a 4th down and goal conversion here. They went up 7-0. Then Baker matched them, and they went back the other way to knot it up at 7. And then Baker got a field goal, but then this one from 59 for Luke Friel. And again, like no exaggeration, it would have been good from, if you're going to say 69, you might as well say 70, because it was that strong a leg, and it didn't just eke over the crossbar. It was still very high.
It's like a ball going over the foul pole.
Yeah.
Not beyond the foul. Anyway, you'll be seeing that plenty on social media, I would hope.
You see things are pretty even there on the stat sheet. Fairhope really has not done anything throwing the ball, and it's not really what they do, but we think they might have to do it a little more in the second half to get that play action going.
They need to get that first option going, the belly play. You know, they're getting nothing out of that, and they're resorting to trying to pinch some stuff off the edge with Creel.
Look at the night. Flowers just one incompletion in the first half, 175 yards. And let's go down to Heather, as she was able to catch up with both coaches to give us an update. Heather.
Yeah, Fairhope got away from me at the half. Head coach Tim Carter said that he had so much faith in his kicker for that 59-yarder, but they need to do more in the second half. They have to be up by at least 2 scores. On Baker's side, Coach Norman said that they have to go toe-and-toe with these guys. Defense is containing the Fairhope offense well, but they need to go toe-and-toe when it comes to offense and go up at least 2 scores as well. So it's going to be a great second half, guys.
Pretty even matchup between these two teams in the third quarter. It comes up right after this. We'll start the second half on Friday Night Rivals, all even between Baker and Fairhope.
Here's the winning ticket number.
You see Coach Norman of the Baker Hornets. You know, there was a little kind of sequence of time there in that second quarter, Dan, where Baker was on top 10-7, and it looked like they might be on the verge of
getting another one,
kind of stretching this out a little bit here. And then Fairhope's defense came up with the stop and then the big field goal at the end there. But it did kind of look like, it kind of did feel like they had the momentum offensively, and maybe we're going to try to stretch that lead out a bit.
Yeah, they really did. They had held to that point Fairhope's offense to 25 yards in the second period, so they really contained what Fairhope was doing offensively with the veer. But you can't contain a 59-yard field goal. There's nothing you can do about that. And Steve Norman, who is quite a personality as a head coach, probably rendered silent. If there's anything that could put him into a silent mode, it'd be what we saw. It's amazing, that 59-yard kick to end the half. It's what ended the half. Here we're starting the second half, and people are still shaking their head about that play.
Well, and and it doesn't matter what level of football you're watching. When you see a field goal from that length, it usually has to be a very low trajectory because it's got to go so far. He got it up so quickly that you didn't have a chance. They really didn't have a chance to block it at all.
No, he defies kicking principles. There he goes again.
Sends this one high and deep into the end zone. And
kick goes in and out of the end zone. It'll be first down.
Baker will come out here, so he's going to West Point. He's going to kick at Army, and he does it all. And Coach Carter, we were talking with him about Luke Freer on the on the field before the game, and so he's got a pro kicker's body.
Yeah,
he's big.
A lot of those guys are bigger than you think. And he's one of those. And then You know, you just look at the evidence. You look at that kick. Is it West Point and nobody else? Anybody interested in this kid?
And he's also a punter, booms it as a punter. You make a good living being a punter in the NFL. Like you
can make some dough.
You notice when those checks hit the direct deposit, I think. All right, so Baker's offense comes back out here with the sophomore Josh Flowers. Quickly gets it off to Jamari Hawkins, his favorite target, and we saw why, and he'll pick up 5.
25-yard line, gain of 5.
Here for the senior, second-year starter.
Hawkins had 60 yards receiving in the first half. Very productive, very quick, slippery.
Owen Williams makes the tackle for the Pirates.
And so they're spotted at the 25 here for Baker. Baker had their 4-game winning streak snapped last week. As this one thrown, and it's going to be a loss there as it was a little underthrown as Williams comes up with a catch, but he had to go down to a knee to grab that one. Oh, it actually says it's going to be incomplete here, and you just saw Flowers right there just tap him as he looked at Williams and said, that was my bad. That one's on me.
Yeah, I haven't seen many of those mistakes here in the first half.
Second incompletion of the night.
Right. Sophomore quarterback. Did not have the job when the season started. And his numbers are still through the roof. They're getting over 30 a game.
3rd and a long 4. Pulls it down with pressure. Now he's going to roll out, still looking, and fires it up the far sideline. And out of bounds is Jamarian Clemens. And Fairhope's defense forces a 3 and out.
Here's another good thing right here.
For the Baker Hornets.
He ends up throwing this one a little bit too far and just leaves him out of bounds. Did you see when he held up throwing it, when he wanted to throw a quick slant and it wasn't there as a sophomore quarterback, he ate it and tried to find something else rather than go through with the play.
Yeah, we haven't seen him force anything.
Oh, very, very calm, very good decision maker.
Pratt Turner will stand as a timeout. Taken by Fairhope right before the punt. I have to think that's a personnel issue, maybe.
They probably didn't have enough guys on the field. Maybe about to get penalized, possibly.
Boy, you hate to burn that timeout. There you see what Fairhope's done after they lost that first game at Spanish Fort. They've gone on a roll here, and Coach Carter said it was, it was about halfway through that Daphne game, we kind of started to find our stride a bit and hit our stride. And so they beat their big rivals in overtime there, and then took care of the next 3 teams, which you would expect on the schedule to do. And then when they went and got the win at Theodore, then it was like, okay, we are kind of who we were hoping we were.
Yeah. And now they're going to have to. Let's see how they operate offensively here in the second half, Jim. Again, that number 1 of that triple option is the belly play. Gained him a lot of yards last week. I would say that play alone gained him 150 yards.
Yep.
And it's been well defensed by Baker tonight. We'll see if they can make some blocking adjustments and get that play going.
Now they are going to come on the fake on the far side, and this spot, let's see as he continues down. He's going to be short of the first down, so Fairhope, maybe that's why they called the timeout. Maybe they saw something, they thought a fake was coming. And now great field position for the Fairhope Pirates as they snuff out the fake. Let's watch. Came to Irby, yeah.
Maddox Davis ends up the player to make.
And the ball came loose. And Davis fell on it, but I think they thought they were going to run the fake, and that's why they took the timeout.
Could be.
Sometimes maybe you take the fake off after the opponent's call the timeout.
I think they've got a clue.
But now, great field position at the 29. Here for the Pirates.
Boy, they're doing a job, aren't they, Jim?
Yeah, Patrick had nowhere to go as Houghton was there.
Follows the block of Colclaser and Vanderwall.
Stopped him for a gain of a couple.
There's some dudes on that line, man, and they are playing it. They're not just look good getting off the bus. I'm going to fall short of saying they're dominating on the line of scrimmage, but they're playing awfully well, the guys in white and blue.
Good look at Caden Creel. Gives it off to Patrick on the left side and gets tripped up and finally pulled down by Briers.
These runs were 30, 35, 40 yards against Theodore, a number of them. And he was able to break off one long one on that 80-yard drive when they started the game. Otherwise, I'm sure offensively they're a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, went for 46, the big one on that drive. But
right.
Back then it's been more grinding them out. And now 3rd and 4.
They got to go for a field goal. Do they have a kicker?
Creel on the keeper, tries to cut it up, and he's going to be about a yard short.
I say that facetiously, by the way, if you missed it in the first half.
Yeah, it'll be 4th and 2, so they're going to bring Freer out again.
He kicked one from 59. If you missed it somehow, I would say, how soon will that thing be up on the net, Jim? I don't know.
Yeah, probably tomorrow. Up on YouTube, or you can go back and watch it on NBC 15's Facebook page. They stream the games live there, so you can go back and find it there. This one, just a 38-yard attempt. And it's good.
Freer's kick is good.
And Freer with another one.
13.
And now Fairhope regains the lead. 13-10 early on in the 3rd here on Friday Night Rivals. Dan Brennan still texting people about the 59-yard field goal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting texts back. You know, I'm talking about Washington State. Where can I see it? Where can I see it? NBC 15's
Facebook page.
The Facebook page. They stream the games live.
Yep.
So
at the end of tonight's game, you can go back, and it'll be up on YouTube tomorrow. And Freer will kick off after that 38-yard field goal after the fake punt that was unsuccessful. And yeah, but a little credit there to Baker's defense to hold them to just 3 on there after getting the ball, turning the ball over to the 29 after the fake.
Yeah, good job by them. But you know, you question the call a little bit, the fake punt.
Foosackleys, of course, they feed our crew each and every Friday night. They can take care of you as well with those handmade tenders and homemade sauces. Of course, you can order online and pick it up curbside if you'd like to. And they've got drive-through at all locations, a snack, a box, a salad, or a tray. Foo is perfect for any occasion. Keep the foo in football. Nobody does it better than Foosackleys.
First down for the Hornets.
And a pre-snap flag here. Our McConnell Collision Center flag on the play. Have not had many of these tonight.
Prior to the snap, false start, 5-yard penalty, and offense,
And
after the penalty, first and 15 for the Hornets.
Flag there against the Hornets, backs them up on a false start, 1st and 15. And now, I think we're going to have another one. Another McConnell Collision Center flag on the play there. Looked like there was a illegal shift before that one was snapped, and that's
Prior to the snap, false start, 5-yard penalty.
it was a false start. First and 20. So not a good start to this drive for the Hornets. Flowers on the design keeper. Bangs through and
Flowers on the keeper.
Get it back to the 20, about the original line of scrimmage with a pickup of 10.
It's like seeing a sophomore deliver a speech, a level of sophistication you don't expect, and that's what he is from an athletic standpoint. He's big, he's athletic, he makes good decisions, he stays composed.
It's a big 10 to get back there on 1st and 20. He'll keep it again, and here comes some more, and it's going to be now 3rd and about 1 as he picks up 9.
Jim, project him. What is he going to be if he's this now?
Boy, he's,
you know?
Yeah, and just the experience, just to have the learning curve.
Yeah.
You know, now you come in as a junior, and you have 2 years in front of you.
Everybody's going to know about you.
By the Pirates right here.
So 3rd and 1 after 19 on the 2 previous carries there for Flowers.
They've got something at Baker.
Play clock inside 5. Flowers in the give. Now, yet another flag. So we had to mention that we hadn't seen many McConnell Collision Center flags. And this one, a 3rd false start. So that the 3rd on this drive. And again, 3rd and 1 turning into 3rd and 6.
Not nearly as crisp so far here in the second half. You mix that in with a questionable decision with a fake punt.
Yep.
And now you've got a Fairhope lead.
3rd and 6 for the Hornets.
Flowers again wants to keep it. Trying to turn the corner. And he's going to be stopped. Shut down there, Blaine Myrick.
Great defensive play by the Pirates.
Able to make the stop. Amir Adams, the sophomore over there as well. And he only picks up a yard, so 4th and 5 coming up.
Myrick he's a better free safety with one hand, most with 2.
4th down.
Jim Carter calling him his best football player.
Brad Turner for the punt.
Calvin Irby on the punt. Good snap again. Low kick. It was out of bounds. And let's go down to Heather on the sideline and talk about the special night here tonight at Fairhope. Heather.
A very special night indeed. I am with defensive line coach, Coach Horn. I'm with his wife, Heather. And Heather, you've got your 2 beautiful twin daughters. Tell me what this night is all about and what it means for your daughter, Caitlin.
This night is so memorable. It means so much to our families. This is our 8th year doing this, and it's just nice to be able to see the kids that don't get to do a lot to come out here and their faces light up when the players, the whole community, everybody dresses out in their yellow, and they just support kids like Caitlin and other kids in the community with spinal bifida.
Yeah, and we've got our yellow ribbons on as well. You had a beautiful night on the other side of the end zone here. Tell me what that's all about.
So we do a tailgating before the game where we just honor these kids, and they're able to have special items from the cheerleaders. The concession provides food, and then sometimes we'll do also special things for the therapist or pediatricians and that kind of thing.
Okay, and Miss Caitlin, I've got to tell you, and I told you this before, your smile and your laugh was just infectious when you came out of that tunnel tonight with you and your sister. What does it mean to be out there tonight?
It's really special just to be with people that are like me and that understand what it's like to have spinal bifida, and it's just really special.
What does it mean to support your sister?
It really means a lot to me, and I really love doing it.
Well, a very, very special night. Thank you guys so much for taking out the time to speak to us. Go Pirates!
Go Pirates!
There we go, guys.
Wow, what a special night for the Horn family here. Oh, good job, Heather. Great story to share.
Met the coach and his wife and kids before the game.
3rd down here for the Pirates, and Patrick is going to pick up the 1st down.
Glenn Patrick inside the 30-yard line. 1st down, Pirates. Eubanks met the stop for the Hornets.
Caitlin, star of the show tonight. Young Caitlin there. She's the star of the show. Wow. Wonderful young lady.
Really, again, you know, you're caught off guard by someone that young's poise. And special young lady, a big night for everybody here.
So 1st and 10 for the Pirates. Creel keeps it. Dances to the outside, and he'll get maybe a yard.
Creel on the keeper. Might have gained a yard.
Clock winding down toward 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd.
You know, it's kind of an offense that can lean on you a little bit, wear you down a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but they've been benefit of good field position here in the second half.
You also get mentally tired a bit of what happens, and here's McCants.
McCants breaks it open right over the blocks of Owen
inside the 20.
Cole
And we'll bring up a third.
Down about 2 yards short.
And short.
3rd and 2. Ball just inside the 20-yard line.
BLP Mobile Paint's
Byers
school colors. Cam. BLP Mobile Paint celebrating 100 years this year. 3rd and short for the Pirates. McCants has the first down and more.
Here's the play we were looking for, Jim. All first half wasn't there. I mean, they were running it, but it wasn't successful in the second half for whatever reason, and they're going to go real quick.
Yeah, a little tempo here. Down to the 13. McCants on the right side and jumps it back inside the 10.
Inside the 10-yard line, it'll be at the 9.
Britford came over to
Byers makes the stop for the Hornets.
make the tackle there. And
great running by the Kings.
Second down at about 6.
2nd and 6 for the Pirates.
As we're inside 4 minutes to go. This is exactly what Fairhope loves to do, chew up that clock. Already up by 3. McCants this time on the left side to about the 6.
Again to the 5-yard line, maybe the 6. Houghton makes the stop.
And 3rd and about 3 coming up here. But, you know, I know you obviously it's almost an automatic from here, but at some point you're thinking, hey, we have to get another touchdown. You know, not just field goals. Going to have to get another touchdown. Pratt Turner in motion. McCants with a hole on the right side, and McCants is going to have the first down. This will be 1st and goal from around the 1.
It'll be 1st and goal for the Fairhope Pirates.
And McCants says, oh, now I got to come out, Coach.
Exactly.
Got it all the way down the field.
I got you to the 1, man.
Again, behind
I think I can get 1 yard.
So he's replaced by Glenn Patrick. And Fairhope trying to build on the lead here tonight. Patrick tried to drive in, still trying to push forward. And going to be 2nd and goal.
Well, it wasn't for a lack of effort.
I think might have been hit initially there by Donald Caver, and Caver did a good job just to bear hug him and not let him spin to get. We saw him do that on that 4th and goal.
Right,
now at the other end, watch.
Go to get him.
This time they'll get it in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Pirates. Glenn Patrick on the handoff from Caden Creel goes right up the middle.
Glenn Patrick with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And Fairhope now with a 9-point lead in the PAT. Coming here as they've put 10 up on the board here in the 3rd quarter if the PAT is good from Freer. And it is. And Fairhope on a 6-game winning streak now, on top by 10 with 2.5 to go in the 3rd on Wendy's Friday Night Rivals. Halloween just a couple of weeks away, and for some reason I thought I'd mention that when we're looking at an almost full moon tonight. 20-10. Fairhope with the lead. They've scored 10 unanswered here in the 3rd to take the lead and chewing up the clock as well.
Kick off for the Pirates.
And Freer with his 2 field goals and 2 extra points tonight. This one all the way into the end zone as
Kickoff goes into the end zone. It'll be
Britford couldn't quite hold on to it. Hey, so here's the trivia question. Tonight, 23rd meeting between these two teams.
Full force to support our Pirate football program.
And
our team, our coaches.
How many times has Baker ever won?
Breakfast, that's a pretty big deal.
The answer?
Today's breakfast provided by
0. Wow. 0, 2, and 2. There were 2 ties. Back in 1961, they tied at 13. And in 1957, they tied at 6. It's a different era of football back then.
I think they're due.
And they're in a hole right now, but a lot of time left. And this is a team that can score quickly and explosively. But Hawkins, not much there on that one on first down. Pick up 2. Boy, Hawkins is something special to watch, too.
He really is. And if you enjoy the smell of cannon powder, this is this is a bargain tonight.
And another false start here.
Two short fields here in the second half by for Fairhope, and they've taken advantage with the field goal and the touchdown drive. So, this is starting to add up a little bit on Baker, right?
Yeah, that's at the 4th, 5th here tonight. I think maybe 4th in the second half, 3rd in the at least 3. There was 2 on that last drive. Backs him up to a 2nd and 13. When they get in these long situations, they just have Flowers be the designated runner, and he's across the 20. He'll pick up about 8 on this one. He'll bring up 3rd down. And about 8 here for the Baker Hornets.
I feel like they've gotten away from the pass a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely. And no rhythm either because of the penalties. Beckham, the sophomore, to the bottom of the screen. On a draw, now looking to throw. Middle of the field, incomplete. Now there's a pass interference flag as Clemens was there.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Clemens at about the 30-yard line.
Amir Adams was there with him, right? Stride for stride on the hash. I don't know if there was a little hand fighting there. Or...
You know, they were one-on-one. They're basically right in front of us where we're located, near the 40-yard line. And, you know, maybe there's something, just the angle. I didn't see it, but something must have been going on because the flags came from everywhere, Jim.
We'll see.
Maybe we'll see it here. A little
just...
hold, a little tug.
Yeah. So it'll be pass interference and converts a first down up to the 37.
It wasn't much, but I guess it was enough. Ball's in the air. Receiver's making his break, and little jersey in the hand.
And the Hornets, little shovel pass inside. That one was behind Hawkins, who made a great catch on it. He'll pick up 11.
Good catch by number 9.
Flowers laid on the pitch, and it went behind Hawkins with those great hands. Watch him make this grab here.
Good catch here. Wow.
Left-handed pitch.
Got to turn all the way around to get it, too. He gets tagged at the end of the play, but it's another first down for Baker.
Peyton Nero put the big hit on the leading tackler for this Pirate squad. Right-handed quarterback with that left-handed. Watch him switch it over there and pitch it with that left hand. And the big hit coming at the end. Now Hawkins this time trying to go on the other side. We talked about the speed, and up the far side he goes.
Out of bounds at about the 35.
All the way up near the 35.
They'll mark him actually out at about the 38. And we do have
15-yard pickup, and we've got a
Peyton Nero at the defensive play.
Injured Hornet over there. So we're down to 22 seconds left here in the third. Saw the speed of Hawkins there, and that's
a guy again.
Yeah, Javen Williams. He's looking down at the his left
lower leg.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got the lone Baker touchdown here tonight. A beautiful reception in the first quarter on the opening drive. So they check out the knee there. J.C. Todd. Always good to see him on a sideline. And hopefully they get.
You hope it's just a scare.
Yep.
Not a lot more.
And we'll take a break here as they tend to. Javen Williams down. Oh. All right, I guess we'll stay here.
Big hand for Javen Williams. Great to see him on his feet.
And he will go off under his own power, so that's a good sign. And 1st and 10 for the Hornets coming up from the 38-yard line. This one was 10-10 at the half. Fairhope with a field goal and a touchdown here in the third to build this 10-point lead. You know, Fairhope has held 5 of the 7 opponents this year to 12 points or less. Averaging only 12 points a game, giving up defensively as we see our BLP Mobile Paint School colors cam. And this defense has been stout all year. And right now they've held this Baker team that's averaging 36 a night, or 34 a night to 10 through almost 3 quarters.
Great job here in the third quarter especially.
1st and 10, Hawkins. Instead it's going to be Flowers. Keeps it to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Hornets.
And that will bring the third quarter to a close with a Trent Spaller tackle for Fairhope on Flowers, and we will head to quarter number 4. Fairhope on top by a score of 20-10 heading into quarter number 4, but the Hornets have it in Pirate territory when we come back. Here in Fairhope tonight, the Pirates on top by a score of 20-10 as they used 10 points there in that third quarter with a field goal of 38 yards from Freer and a touchdown from Glenn Patrick, his 2nd of the night. And Fairhope on top by 10. It's been back and forth, 7-0. Fairhope to start it, then it was 10 unanswered by Baker, and now 13 unanswered by Fairhope to lead 20-10 to start the third. Hawkins on the right side cuts it to about the 32, a pickup of 6.
All these little tosses that, you know, go into the column of the passing game a little bit because he tosses it forward like that.
Holy makes the tackle. Will be 3rd down and 4.
McGill Tulin leads Blunt 41-12
3rd down play by
at the end of 3.
Coming up.
And 3rd and 4 here for the Hornets. Flowers out to the far side and left that one a little short. And the sophomore Kevin Beckham, not much he could do with it, so now 4th and 4 from the 32 on the no gain there. Had it well designed there, just didn't get enough on it to get to him.
And he was, you know, disappointed with himself. Flowers was as soon as he let it go. He's had a few of those tonight, not many though. He's been pretty accurate, but the first half was when he really was shining. Here in the second half, wheels coming off a little bit with penalties. Fake punt that didn't go well.
So 4th and 4 here for the Hornets, trying to cut into this Pirate lead. Want to try that shovel pass again, and they do to the inside, and Hawkins is going to have the first down.
Will be a first down for the Hornets.
Such a tough play to defend when you got everybody flowing to one side, and then on the pitch back, and Hawkins converts the 4th down.
It's kind of an unusual play, you know.
Yep.
Tough to defend something you don't see very often. So in that regard, Fairhope is getting a little bit of their own medicine. Baker run that veer.
Baker needed that conversion.
They did.
Now they got it at the 26.
Surprised they're not throwing downfield. They must just think this defense right now it's a 1 safety high.
Here's Flowers, stays on his feet. Flowers all the way back to the near side. Down to about the 13. Make it about the 18, excuse me. Yeah, just more design runs for Flowers here in the second half.
Many, many more.
Of course, you know, so you just saw your top receiver on the outside, Williams, just go out on that.
True.
On this series right before the end of the 3rd quarter. Now they want to try and fire this one up, and it's caught by Beckham for the touchdown. Oh, the DB thought he had a chance. Beckham comes up with a catch, and he's got the score, an 18-yard reception. And Baker now with a PAT can cut this one to 3.
Just a quick slant, 1-on-1. Let Flowers lead the way with the pass. This occasion, he does. That corner trying to bite up there and get the pick.
And Hunter Kilgore, the 3rd touchdown of the year for Beckham, and Kilgore will try to make this a 3-point game. And he does. This one has lived up to the billing.
No doubt. And I tell you what Baker's thinking, or what Fairhope is thinking right now, keep that ground game going, chew up some clock. You've got a 3-point lead, expand it at the end of the drive in some form or fashion. But keep this Baker offense off the field because they are explosive.
Bayside Orthopedics, Encore Sports Rehabilitation.
Amir Adams, the sophomore, had a chance at that.
And then he didn't.
And then it was a touchdown for Beckham. How big was that 4th down conversion at the 32? 4th and 4. Got it. And kept the drive alive, and now Baker is pulled within 3. 80 yards, just a tick over 5 minutes on the drive.
Baker's alive and well offensively. And, you know, Steve Norman's in a good mood anyway.
Right.
This has got to be the time of his life when he's got a team that's playing really well.
Got it, a kick.
Failed to mention earlier,
Mosley and Turner.
Nationwide broadcasts every week are in high definition, thanks to Hunter Security. Thank you, great folks at Hunter Security, for providing high definition cameras for our broadcast.
And Fairhope will get it back here. Great atmosphere, great crowd.
Great game.
Everything beautiful Friday night in Fairhope. Kick angled to the far sideline, bounces, and picked up Mosley across the 35 to about the 36.
Dick Mosley takes the kickoff out to the 36-yard line. Nice
and
return.
more of our Friday Night Rivals friends, Greer's, celebrating 13 years with their Lucky Apples. Also Barrel Fine Furniture. Proud to be a part of Friday Night Rivals, AOC Sports. We do our pregame show there every week. And back comes Caden Creel, the junior quarterback for the Pirates.
Jim, if they're able to run it, again, it's going to limit the number of times that Baker can get the ball back.
McCants will pick up 5 to the 41.
It's over 40 yards on the game now. Patrick's got over 90, so here in the second half, they've run it a lot better. I mean, night and day, really.
5-yard play. I mean, they're just kind of what Fairhope does. Grind out. Keep the clock constantly moving. Creel keeps it. Keep this one himself. Now a late pitch. That was forward. But the last second.
One thing you want to be careful about is an illegal forward pass, because if you try this, if you know, where are you as far as the line of scrimmage? Because that was definitely forward. Am I right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looked like more of a forward pass, but he was behind the line of scrimmage, so up to the 48. And a first down.
You can tell that.
And here for the Pirates.
He's got a lot of trust in Creel.
Yeah, those just the ball handling skills that you have to run this offense. McCants breaks one. Stays in bounds to the 32. A pickup of 16 yards. And another first down.
Trying to see those bigger chunks on the dive plays. And that's what we saw a week ago. And if they can operate in that fashion here in the fourth quarter, it's going to again do two things. It's going to move the ball, get first downs, possibly end in a score of some sort, and keep Baker off offense.
McCants, another big one. Going to pick up 11. Going to be another first down for the Pirates.
It's a wearing down effect. I think we're seeing it right before our eyes here. This is a good Baker defense. They played very well tonight. But they're a little tired here, a little fatigued. Fairhope's run for a lot of yards in the second half. I'll try to total that up for you.
It's time from the 22 and right back to McCants. They love that right side, and he's inside the 15 to the 14.
14-yard line.
Picks up 8 here.
About 2 yards short of the 2nd and 2. Big run by Pence.
Lanasek and Crabtree doing a great job on that right side.
Williams made the tackle.
Run for about 150 yards here in the second half.
McCants goes that way again, and he's going to have a first down to the 11.
First down, Pirates.
McCants will come out, and Patrick will come back in.
Ball at the 12-yard line of the Hornets.
The stadium's got all the bells and whistles, including bells and whistles.
And Baker's going to take a timeout here. I think they might want to not just talk schematics, but maybe just give their defenders just a bit of a blow.
I think that's it. I think it's more about that.
Coach Norman looks on as his crew comes over that way, and
Terry Thompson Chevrolet, Vince, and then Major Boot.
So a 3-point game. You know the kicker from Fairhope, Luke Freer, is almost automatic down here, although we did see one blocked last week. Short attempt.
Total yards, by the way, right now, Baker is at 290, heavy on the pass at 222. Completely opposite story with Fairhope. They've got 233 offensive yards on the night. 219 of those are on the ground.
Yeah, just 21 through the air. But, you know, I think Coach Carter probably thought they'd have to be able to throw it a little more tonight to get the run going. But if you don't have to, and you keep the run going.
First down.
Especially at this point of the game.
Yep. On the first down, McCants to the 4.
Hoyland McCants inside the 5-yard line.
We really like that right side. They keep.
2nd and 3.
Haven't seen anything go off to the left. It's also the short side of the field.
I don't expect anything on the edge here, Jim. Not the way they're running it right over Crabtree at right guard.
So we approach the halfway point of the fourth quarter. McCants this time, great job coming from the backside to wrap him up and bring him down. Jason McMillan.
McMillan, running back a few years ago for Baker, was a feisty little player, if you remember him. Boy, that's a big guy coming downhill.
Yeah. So now it's going to be 3rd and a long 2 here for the Pirates. Jack Bird lines up in the backfield to block, and now they'll go to the left side, and McCants is going to take it in for the touchdown.
Waylon McCants, touchdown, Fairhope Pirates.
McCants with his 7th touchdown of the season. Good work there. Koklasher and Owen Vanderwall open things up on the far side and extends the lead. Potentially to 10 with the PAT. And indeed it is. Fairhope answers Baker's 4th quarter touchdown, and it's now 27-17 with 5:24 to go. McCants with a score, and the Pirates back on top by 10. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sidelines, and Jared Kihas in the truck. Matt Melton, our statistician extraordinaire, with us here tonight in our great Friday Night Rivals crew. And this one goes through the end zone, and let's go down to the sideline. Now, Heather, what are you doing? What are you doing? Be careful.
We're playing with fire for just a little bit here toward the end of the 4th quarter. I have got 2 juniors here from Fairhope, Miss Molly and Miss Sydney here. So tell me a little bit about this, guys. You guys have been baton twirling for how many years?
9 years. I've been twirling for 6 years.
And tell me, I'm seeing the fire, and I was super excited when I saw it because you don't see this very often anymore when it comes to baton twirling. So tell me a little bit about it and what it takes to do this.
So first it takes several years of basic training because what we do on fire is really easy stuff so that when you're scared because you're handling something that's on fire, you can do it very well. So it takes a few years, and to soak the batons, we put them in tiki torch oil, and then we remove the excess fluid, and then we just light it on fire.
Can I touch it? Yes. All right, here we go. I will not roll this around, but pretty cool, guys. I gotta say, you're missing out down here.
All right, thanks, Heather. All the way up to the 40, a 40-yard completion. As Dan said, want to see if Flowers would take a few more shots downfield. I think he went to Clemens all the way up to the 41, chased out of the pocket again. And, boy, he throws it well on the run, Dan Brennan.
He throws it well in a precision slant right there. Going to get in the zone.
Right back to Clemens, and now we see tempo coming from Baker. Baker with 2 timeouts left, down 10 as we're inside 5 minutes to go. Flowers looks over to the sideline. They want to get to that in 1 second. Flowers dances, looks, pressure from the backside, stays on his feet, wrapped up from behind. Big hit coming from Eli Webb. Good coverage downfield by the Fairhope secondary and not allowing any of the Hornets to get open. And how about the effort from Webb here?
Yeah, Owen Williams too.
Big 3rd down play.
Webb right there. Whoa, good hit.
3rd and 3. I want to say a special hello. Kenny Croft watching up in Monroeville tonight. He loves to tune into Friday Night Football, and he's watching a good one. Here from the Eastern Shore. 3rd and 3. Hawkins turns the corner. He's going to be close.
Heard some of the gnat sound down there. No, he didn't get it.
But heady player like Jamari Hawkins is not going to step out of bounds short of the
I'd have been
first down.
And
he got to the stick, so right at the 30, stops the clock. And now good to see Javen Williams back out there on the field to the bottom of the screen. And he wants to look his way. Flowers instead overthrew it for Chandra Young.
Flowers is so natural, isn't he? His approach and his demeanor.
Bounces on the ball. He's up on the top on the balls of his feet. And a lot of good mechanics.
Just overshot the guy there. He had an open receiver, and that's been a recurring theme tonight. People aren't getting open. And one of the guys that's really been getting open is now back in the game. That's our pregame guest, Javen Williams, number 17. Watch him. He's wide right here on the sideline.
Flowers pressure coming, throws it to Hawkins, who can't hold on. He took a huge hit.
Pass incompleted about the 18-yard line.
Flowers did everything right, though.
Yep.
He's getting pressured. He knows where his receiver is. Lofts it over the pursuing linebackers. Problem is, there's enough people to
greet. The Hornets. Again, the big third down play for the Pirate defense.
Yeah, enough players to greet the receiver when he's there. They're looking for a hit to the head.
And 3rd and 10. Come up here, clearly 2-down territory for the Hornets. Hawkins in motion. Flowers wants to come back to him, and Flowers goes up high, but could not pull it down, and it's 4th and 10.
Who's that so snoopy on defense? It's hard to read these numbers, but a great play by Fairhope, and I couldn't make out the number of the gentleman who knew exactly what play was coming and took care of it.
4th and 10 with 3.5 to go. Flowers, the sophomore. Play clock. Inside 5. Gets it off. Flowers looks, fires, incomplete. Good coverage by the Pirates. They didn't bring the pressure that time. They dropped back in coverage.
Try to confuse him what he was looking at.
At their own 30-yard line.
It's loud here in Fairhope.
Boy, great atmosphere from the beginning of the game to now. And now Baker's got a couple of timeouts. They can burn them as Fairhope begins to do what they do best, run the football. And they've been great here in the second half. So everything is kind of tailor-made for how the Pirates would like to end this football game.
Up by 10. 3.5 to go. Looking to make it 7 consecutive victories. Ranked number 6 in 7A. Creel gives it off to Patrick. Hit at the hole.
Glenn Patrick on the carry.
Saw the Baker defenders in there trying to rip that ball loose. Marcus Osborne was trying to get that big hand in there to yank it free. And
there's no reason, Jim, for Fairhope to snap the ball before that clock is down. Probably less than 10, maybe less than that. Clock's at 25 right now, the play clock.
Kind of standard operating procedure a lot during the game as well. So not asking them to do anything they're not comfortable doing here.
You take your time. Clock's at 12 still, and they're doing just that. Under 10.
Creel keeps it, turns it up the field, and now Creel's going to have one of his better runs of the night. He's going to get a first down.
He's going to have his best run of the night.
Up to the 42, he gains 11.
Brickford makes the stop, a big first down. Nice run by Kate Creel. Ball at the Pirate 41-yard line. 2.5 minutes remaining in this ball game.
Baker, you have to start thinking about your timeouts because you got to get a score, and then you have to get an onside kick. And this one will be snapped as the clock approaches 2 minutes. Patrick jammed up at the line. Good work there by Donald Caver. We've called his name a lot here tonight for the Hornets defense. 2nd and 10.
Patrick is rushing for 97 tonight. Creel 46, and
boy, a lot of time burning off here as Fairhope just letting the play clock wind down on 2nd down, and Baker not using one of their timeouts. Creel on the keeper. Creel inside Hornet territory, and Moore cuts it inside the 30 up to the 28.
Shows his speed down inside the 30-yard line. First down, Fairhope Pirates.
Watch the little athlete right here. He's not that little. He's about 180 pounds, but
32 yards on this pickup. And now with 1:09 to go, Baker not using a timeout. And they may decide not to. And Fairhope going to use their timeout. Here's the play clock winds all the way down and 45 seconds left. Boy, these are going to be two great back-to-back wins for this Fairhope Pirate team. And now, if we look at our BLP paint school colors, Cam, they go on the road to Alma Bryant next week. You
like their chances there.
Yeah, and then you close up at Ladd against Murphy, who's playing better, but
still like their chances there, right?
No question. And so you can round it out and be perfect in the region, and just how, you know, we talk about it, you know, the importance of getting a home playoff game is so huge.
I think what happened here, Fairhope became Fairhope after halftime. And before halftime, we had something called the 59-yard field goal.
And I don't think the momentum can be overstated as what that gave this Fairhope team heading off the field.
What it gave me as an announcer, it was incredible. And it was the electricity through this whole stadium. Now they're in victory formation.
Just going to take a knee, and Baker will use the timeout.
Received a reminder, if you are an authorized person, you know who you are.
They'll have
you are allowed on the field.
One left and 40 seconds left. It's all academic at this
You know who you are.
At this point. So, of course, you'll get it to after third down. You suck it down here. Herc Reynolds, we're going to give you 3 players of the game nominees at the end of tonight's contest, and Herc Reynolds will let you choose one of the 3. Herc Reynolds got anything you could need to rent for a do-it-yourselfer or on a big construction site. Also, BLP Mobile Paints celebrating 100 years, and also Fusakli's chicken fingers and so much more, including those great salads. And Coach Carter always coaching.
Yeah, he's one of those guys really comfortable in his own skin. Good friend of ours, and done a really good job here at Fairhope. This is always a well-coached team. Did a great job of shutting down that Baker offense here in the second half, too.
And Creel will take the knee, and Baker takes the timeout.
Not sure what that accomplishes.
So now you'll snap it here, and
you run around a little bit, it's over.
You have to do something on 4th down. It's a big 3rd down here, and the clock won't.
Well, if you run around for 3 seconds, and that'll do it.
See what Baker has. They're home the next 2 weeks, Daphne and Davidson. So they're going to try. Now they're trying to juggle that Daphne and Baker game. Could be big to see a number 3 or number 4 seeding in the region.
We haven't seen Daphne yet this year, so we don't really know.
Probably see him week 7 or week 11, I mean, against Spanish Fort. Hey, we're going to be back here next week. St. Michael's and Viger. First time seeing both of those.
Well, you know, Viger really deserves some TV time this year for sure.
No question. They were leading Williamson. That big battle here tonight by a couple of scores last I heard. So sometimes the officials are take their time in getting the ball spotted, and they'll do just that, and that will close this one out. Good work by the officials there to kind of make sure time expires, and Fairhope
That will be our ball game.
gets the victory here, 7 in a row, 6-0 in the region. And the
Congratulations to the Baker Hornets having an
Cannons
outstanding season. Also
fire in victory here tonight, but what a win by this Fairhope team, 6 in a row.
Pleasure to watch.
They knew
As you make your way out of the stadium,
they had a big challenge coming up with these back-to-back games. Fairhope
went right to the last minute.
last week beat Theodore here on Friday Night Rivals, and then with the win here tonight. And I think really you talked about Coach Carter, a guy feeling comfortable in his own skin. I think this Pirate team right now feeling really comfortable in their own skin is 2 huge wins in back-to-back weeks here in the region.
Well, it's a team who knows who they are.
Yep.
And when you watch teams that are a little confused with their own identity, you can just watch it, teams struggling to find it, and that's not always a pretty picture.
Have a great weekend.
That's not this team. They swarm on defense, and they run the option and pretty much depend on the ground game to win the football game.
All right, let's go down the field. Heather has got Coach Carter. Heather.
I got a little damp, Coach, here. How does it feel, Coach? You told me at half that you wanted to be up by 2 scores, and you won by 2 scores.
Well, it feels good. I'm so proud of our team and that effort. And Baker played phenomenal. Their effort was great. They had a great game plan and really caused us some problems, but our kids were able to prevail.
Region champs, not just yet, what you just told me, but how is this going to feed you guys into the rest of the season?
Well, it's exciting. I mean, we've just had great focus as a team and my coaching staff. I'm a very small part of this. I got some great assistants. Joel Williams and our offensive staff, Von Messina, Chuck Nelson, Jamal Best, Al Ernest, they did a phenomenal job in these last couple of games with our run game and the design of it. Our kids executed it perfectly. And then, the guys on the defensive side with me, I mean, they just I'm a small part. I'm so proud. Our seniors deserve it. The players made the plays, and we were fortunate tonight to come out of here on top.
A senior night as well. So you're going to soak this in for about 24 hours, get dry, then what happens?
No, it's going to be longer than 24 hours. It's pretty good. We beat all the guys up front, so we're in good shape. We just got to finish the deal and win this championship. And I'm proud of that. With all the guys that graduated a year ago, these guys had faith, and they really have come together. As you saw tonight, we've won a lot of games in the second quarter this year.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys.
That is a happy Coach Carter, and rightfully, and he was a little I don't want to say concerned, but you always have a little of that after you get a big win like that over Theodore, a team that kind of had your number. How were the kids? We forget their kids. How are they going to respond in this matchup here tonight? And I thought they certainly answered the bell very well for his squad.
You got to play the teams that are in front of you, right? You got to just play the schedule out. As it turns out, they had 2 physical games back to back. But here's the good news: Fairhope, they play physical. Yep. So they're okay with that, and they actually were able to wear down. Baker was really good on defense much of the game, but I think this veer option just kind of wore them down, worrying about the assignments, the physicality of Fairhope up front, and in the end, Fairhope wins by 2 scores.
And you see what Fairhope did on the ground. I mean, those 2 backs, each coming in over 500 yards on the ground, and 97 for Patrick, 90 for McCants. All 3 of the touchdowns coming on the ground there, and special teams great as well. And now, even if Fairhope were to stub their toe against either Bryant or Murphy, they were going to hold the tiebreaker over both Theodore and anybody below them because they won there. So a region championship well within the grasp of the Fairhope Pirates to be their first one since 2014. And all that work you did in the tiebreaker scenarios for nothing. You don't even have to go over it.
They just ripped it right away from me. It was going to be my golden moment of the year. But how about the golden moment that Luke Freer had?
He's one of our players of the game with the 2 field goals here tonight, including the one from 59 yards as we went to the half. Patrick, the 2 touchdowns. Caden Creel, the big night as well. Log on to UTV44.com to vote for the Herc Reynolds player of the game. For Heather Healy down on the sidelines, Jared Kihas in the truck. Matt Melton, our great statistician, and our wonderful crew here on Friday Night Rivals. A great one here tonight in Fairhope, where the Pirates continue to plunder as they've now won 6 in a row, make it 7 in a row, 27-17. They beat their 7A region rivals Baker, and they are in the captain's seat to win the region championship.